Hello everyone, this is Blake from DotsCast, and I'm here with Deej from Bungie. We're here at RTX 2014, and so you guys are here with Bungie, and you guys are here to show Destiny.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we came down to RTX because this is a great place to keep in touch with some people who have been longtime fans of our games. You know, obviously, Rooster Teeth did some amazing things with expressing themselves creatively in Bungie games, and we've come back down just to let them know that we're still alive and kicking. We got a new great game coming out. We'd love for them to join us in the world of Destiny. This new game is going to be such a great environment for people to project their personality into the game. You know, a lot of the same way that people did with Machinima and, like the Red versus Blue series. So creating your own character, creating your own guardian, sending it out on your own adventure, telling your own story in the game is a huge theme for what we're creating here. And just wanted to come down and share it with people here just in case they might not have seen it for themselves. We brought down a build of the Crucible, our competitive multiplayer application, and actually had some people battling it out on the central stage today, looking for some honor, glory, bragging rights, and the opportunity to have us make a donation in their name to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Awesome. Well, for those who do not know, the premise of Destiny, like where it's at, like what timeline stuff is in, where did the inspiration come from that?
Well, we've always loved telling games that, entice the imagination, tell great stories. It's all about action and adventure, but at the same time, we want it to be a mystery. We want it to be something that really does, sort of seduce your imagination. Destiny was originally conceived as a fantasy game. If you look at some of the original concept art, you saw castles and you saw knights and strange beasts, but we really did miss that Bungie tradition of a science fiction story about, space exploration and strange new worlds. We wanted to do something a little closer to home this time. So we rooted Destiny in our solar system. We imbued the heroes of this game with, magic and elements of fantasy. As a guardian, you wield light as a weapon. The creative forces of the universe are, like your destructive implements of war. So, we've had a lot of fun stretching our legs into new territory and playing with some different themes.
All right, awesome. Well, apart from all the other Bungie games, like with Halo and whatnot, you always played as a single character. But you said now it's like a whole adventure. You can go pretty much just do your own story.
Yeah.
With the three classes, can you elaborate a little bit more on like what the classes do and what role they can do?
Sure. I mean, the first decision that you'll make as a player of Destiny is which class you want to play as. So, the Titans are all about heavy armor and brute strength. They like to solve problems with their fists. The Hunters are all about the precision kill. Right at home for a sniper like yourself. And the Warlock is, a very eccentric character, the connoisseur of, the destructive powers of the Traveler, throwing down like a Nova bomb of perfect energy, incinerating their enemies on the battlefield. So when you choose a class, you're not just choosing how you look. You're also making a tactical decision about how you'll fight, the weapons, the abilities that you'll have at your exposure. Looks like they're going to get loud over there again, so...
Awesome. Well, the abilities, like where did like the ideas for all these different types of abilities? I mean, especially the Warlock, because it just looks badass, just flying up in the air, just blowing shit up like all over the place. Like where did the inspiration come from that, and like the type of abilities that they would be using? Where did that come from?
Well, I think that was a product of our exploration of the fantasy space, before we decided to settle into the middle, something more like mythic science fiction. So these characters are like knights on a quest, and they do have mythic abilities. They do have ways of fighting that go well beyond a punch, or firepower. They're able to wield mysterious forces, from a mysterious benefactor. The Traveler hovers over the city and protects mankind from external attacks. It also grants us with the energy we need to be, the heroes of humanity and, defend our civilization from being annihilated by alien forces. And the super abilities were just a manifestation of that. Just to add something new and fun to an explosive sandbox that people come to expect from a Bungie game.
Awesome. Well, I've seen a whole lot of videos and stuff on it, and I always read like the comments to see like what people think about the game. And a lot of people said it's kind of a mix of Halo, Borderlands style, like huge, like action, just vast world. You said it also takes place here on Earth, and a little bit closer to home. First of all, it's just badass. But the whole, like, where would like most of the fighting be like taking place? Like old, like abandoned, like destroyed, like civilizations and stuff like that?
Everything on Earth has been laid to waste. Your adventure follows a very specific path. Your adventure, much in the way it did in the alpha, begins in old Russia, and then we're going to send you back out to the stars to reclaim a lot of the places that we've lost. So you are going to find the remnants of old colonies on Mars or Venus, the remains of old military bases, on the moon, or even alien strongholds, places that were not of our origin, places that, alien races created. There's not a whole lot I would like to tell you about the destinations you'll explore, because a major theme of this game is discovery. You're going to go back out into our solar system and you're going to discover things that are really just legends. The game takes place hundreds of years after the collapse of a golden age in which our civilization spanned the solar system. But humanity has not been back out to visit those places in so long that really it's just old stories about the fact that we used to be on Mars. We haven't been there in so long, we don't even really know where it is anymore. So the first time you set foot in those places, you should feel like it's the first time that humanity has been there for centuries, which makes every player of Destiny very much a vanguard.
Awesome. Well, the storyline just looks amazing, sounds so badass. The weapon system, where did you guys get the inspiration from that, to alien weapons versus I guess what they have now for themselves as the characters? Where did you guys get the inspiration for those?
Well, it's all about giving the player a lot of different choices so that each Guardian in the game can feel like they're truly unique. So we give you a lot of decisions you can make about what sort of ability are you going to use as a Guardian, what sort of weapon do you want to carry on your person. You're going to have a very deep inventory in this game, and you're going to be able to equip 3 of those weapons at any point in time. So there are many different types of weapons in the primary class. Do you want a fully automatic rifle? Do you like a semi-automatic rifle? Maybe a burst fire weapon, or even just a revolver, a big hand cannon, give you some of that gunslinger lifestyle. In the special category, we let you decide if you want something that feels a lot like an energy-driven SMG, like close range, engaging many targets at the same time. There's a shotgun, there's a sniper rifle. It's all about a vast arsenal. You get all the way down to the heavy category. Do you like a belt-fed heavy machine gun that can just rain damage all over the battlefield? Or do you want a rocket launcher for a very specific punch into one area? You get to make choices about how you fight in this game, and making sure that there are different classes of weapons, different categories of weapons, and then different weapons to choose from in each bucket is, just one way we go about letting you finely tune your Guardian build so it's a reflection of your ideal fighting style.
All right, and you mentioned the engagements and stuff, if you play it solo, depending on what kind of weapons and stuff you'll use, you'll want to go about it a little bit differently. But playing with, I guess, friends and stuff online changes it completely. Do the enemies, will they scale with it? Will they adapt to your fighting style flanking?
Well, there are going to be certain enemies you're going to need a fire team to defeat. There are certain activities that we're creating where if you don't come with a fire team, you're going to have a bad time. There are going to be some enemies where you may think, I can't defeat this enemy alone, but if I come back later when I'm more powerful, I'll be able to. So you'll go back out, you'll do some more missions, and you'll remember, when I get a little bit stronger, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to say to that boss, you remember me? So we're going to let people have control over their level of social engagement. So you can fight all the way through the story all by yourself. But we have things like cooperative strikes and raids where if you are going to be effective in those environments, you're going to want to bring along a fire team. And how that fire team is sorted. If you have one Guardian from every class, you're going to have some diversity of fighting. Different ranges of your super abilities, different ways in which your abilities impact the scenario. So if you, decide to mix those things up and really get strategic about how different players complement each other, you have different options. But we know that there's going to be a group of guys that they just love to be the all-Titan review, and they just go out and fist of havoc everything on the map. So, the community will show us how they do it,
All right. Well, I guess with all the different types of classes and stuff, it just seems so badass. The whole rating system, how would that work? Is it just I guess, harder bosses, more health, different tactics, or just all out, just badass NPCs that you have to land stuff in?
I could tell you all about the raid, but I'd have to kill you. So I'm not going to do that because I like you. You seem like a nice guy. They'll kill me too. So, no, the raid is very much a puzzle. It's very much a mystery. It's about problem solving. It's about planning and strategy and mechanics, trial and error. We'll see who completes it first. We'll definitely be paying attention. But I would like the raid to be definitely one of those surprises that we hold back for launch. We'll see if our team can, keep the secret as, long as they've asked me to. Maybe they'll tell you more about the raids right before we release the game. But at this point, we're really just sort of building up toward the beta that will happen July 17th. That will give people some good exposure to different elements of the game. We'll tell you what all those things are very soon. If you played in the alpha, there will be some new surprises in there. If this is your first taste of Destiny, then it'll give you a pretty good idea as to the different modes of action we have and how they all contribute to the evolution of your Guardian.
All right. Well, I guess that's about as much as I can ask without getting too in depth and without having to get killed about the.
I was just kidding. I wasn't really going to kill you.
All right. With all the PvE and stuff like that against the NPCs, but also, like earlier that was shown, the PvP just going up against head to head. It was just so bad. Like, how did you guys go about the balancing in that? Because the different classes, as you could see earlier, it was just. I mean, the hunter could just straight up just one-shot people with the pistol if you landed it, but you could hit that.
I mean, it's the product of rigorous play testing. We play this game, and we play it, and we play it. Every day there's people up in play test labs. They're battling each other to see what's the most powerful Guardian. If there ever emerges only one logical choice for gameplay, we make sure that it gets balanced by the other things that people can use in the game. So I've seen every class of Guardian in play tests be the only logical choice. The Titan, the Hunter, and the Warlock have all had their moment in the sun. I think we've arrived at a pretty good place now where coming out of the alpha, we didn't feel like any of our players said the only way to play this game is the Hunter. People do have their own favorite classes for different reasons, and we'll see what they say in the beta.
Right. Well, also, with all the specs and stuff, I guess, are for each different class, you can't just have one the same hunter, the same warlock and stuff like that. They'll all be special in their own way.
Yeah, there's all types of gear that you can earn on different missions, and each hunter, each warlock, each titan will all have different choices they can make, to make them feel like they're truly unique on the battlefield. And I'll let you ask one more question, and then I gotta go.
One more. All right. So no cookie cutter builds. I'm guessing just keeping it straight, however your play style is, however you got it. However, you can tell a huge inspiration from Halo and all these other games. Just the vehicles in it are awesome, just badass. The speeders, everything. I mean, it's just so fluid also. And just how many hours, I guess, have you guys spent, or days, weeks, months, on just making the game as smooth and as efficient as it is?
In terms of fine-tuning, the development build, I could never put an hourly figure on it. I mean, there's so many people working on the game, and every single one of them invest their own time and blood and sweat and tears into this. We've been in development of Destiny for 2 or 3 years now, but it's been something that we've been daydreaming about, certain people at Bungie, for over a decade. Even when we were making Halo games, we used to dream of a world that was a big, beautiful place you could explore, where you could have chance encounters with other heroes that would surprise you, where different people could come together and work together, to overcome deadly enemies, and then maybe part as friends but never see each other again. Wanted to create a place that felt alive, where people felt like anything could truly happen.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. If you'll just plug yourself, where people can find you and keep up with Destiny and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be great.
I'm Deej. I'm the Bungie Community Manager. You can find me on Bungie.net, where we are hosting a community of people who are waiting to play Destiny. If you'd like to be one of them, come grab a login. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you play our game and tell us what you think.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.